Okay, hey everyone, I'm Chelsea. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area in California. And I attended the Luke 10 school starting in June. It was from June to August, and so that's how I ended up here. So my story is my dad was a pastor, my mom was a pastor's wife. I grew up going to church every single Sunday my whole entire life, and I always had in me a heart for God. I always wanted to know who He was. I always was seeking after the truth, and I went to church. I read the Bible. I had a desire to grow close to Him, but I never knew I could be free from sin. I didn't even know that that was possible. I never really heard about what it meant to be a disciple. I knew about being a Christian in the sense of I went up to the altar and I did the sinner's prayer probably every other Sunday, accepted Jesus in my heart about 40 times. I went to summer camps. I was involved in teen ministry, but I was never really close to God, even though I really wanted to be. And so I ended up going to a Christian university. I had a desire to learn and grow closer to God. I ended up studying Christian theology for 4 years, so my degree is in Christian theology. But the irony of that is even though I was taking theology courses, I was in so much sin. I had anxiety, I had depression, I had panic attacks, I was lonely, I was all bound up. I was living like everyone else was in the world in terms of dating. And I had no conviction about that, actually, while I was studying New Testament theology, Old Testament theology, Paul's letters, Romans, all that. And I graduated from college. I went back home, and everyone was like, wow, she has a 4-year theology degree. I guess she's equipped to teach and, lead all these groups. And so I went back. I had some pride about that, too, I'm equipped. And so I started doing that in my church, but again, my life was not changed, and I knew it. I would read the Bible, and I would be like, there's something not right. What I'm reading does not match with my life. And I never told anybody that, but I knew that. I knew that inside. And I remember one day I was even driving on the freeway, and I was like, I'm attracted to the world, and I'm teaching a Romans class at church. And I'm like, there's something not right. And so what happened is I was attending another school. I'm a sign language interpreter. That's what I do for work. And what happened is my mom met somebody at work who invited us over for a Thanksgiving meal randomly, just randomly. And we went over there, and he invited me to a Bible study that was outside my church. And I went to that Bible study, and it was the first time someone sat me down and said, salvation is not a prayer that you pray, it's a race to be won, and it's an obedient faith walk. And I was like, what? And I was like, that's the truth. I knew that, and it was like my heart inside of me went poof. And I knew that everything that I had learned in terms of just a prayer you pray was not true. I knew I was not a real Christian. I knew I had never repented of my sin. And it was like I saw it all. And I was like, wow, that's what I've been searching for. And it was like everything I read in the Bible became alive. It made sense. It made sense to me. And so I started sharing this with people that were at my church and with my friends. I was like, you guys, you have to obey what we read in the Bible, like Jesus says it. And what I saw for the first time was some people loved it and got totally changed. And some people started to really not like what I was saying. And I read in the Bible, it's like, wow, Jesus says you'll get persecuted. And I was like, the Bible's true, for the first time. And I was like, wow, I feel like I know Jesus. And so I continued these Bible studies, and then I learned that baptism wasn't a symbol. It was actually part of salvation. And when I heard that, I was like, dunk me. Put me in the water yesterday. And me and 2 of my other friends, we got baptized. It was December of 2012. And I had been baptized before at my church when I was 10 years old. But I knew that what I did at 10 was under a gospel that wasn't true. And so I was just like, I need to get baptized right, the right way. And so I did. And that was really the beginning of my journey of what it really meant to be a disciple of Jesus and to walk with Christ. And I started really seeing the life of walking with Jesus versus just going to church. And I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is so hard and so amazing at the same time. And then God brought me through kind of a desert period. And in August of 2016, I found out about TLR through another random encounter. Nothing's random. And it was someone that randomly came to the church I was going to that happened to be from India who had just gotten baptized. And she was like, check out the Pioneer training videos. And that was the first time I had been exposed to the baptism of the Holy Spirit. I had no context for that before. Never knew about speaking in tongues. I thought that was like something from another planet or something like that. But when I started watching the videos and seeing the testimonies and the power to transform your life and to overcome sin and to walk in the authority of Jesus Christ, I was like, I want it. I want it all. And so in my kitchen in August of 2016, I was just in my kitchen. I was alone. I was praying. I was worshiping God. And I was like, I want it. And so I did. I just was praying, and then all of a sudden from out of me, I started speaking in tongues and praying. And it was the first time I had ever received a picture while I was praying. And I don't know how long I prayed in tongues, but I prayed for a while. And after that was done, I had seen that picture. I was like, wow, like there is power in the Holy Spirit to change, and everything is in there. And so from that point on, God has taken me on a journey, and it's truly been one that's changed me from church to a real relationship with Jesus.